I will, but I'm going to start over. Okay, you guys, I'm going to start over because it's just being recording. So my name is Jennifer Cobb. That's okay. It's perfect. My name is Jennifer Cobb. I'm a diamond with Plexus. And I, as Andrea said, am from Charleston, South Carolina. Not originally. I'm from New Jersey originally. Do I have any Jersey girls out there? From there, originally, we moved here in 2007 and love it. And we'll, no offense to New Jersey, but we probably will never move back because once you move down here, the weather is so great that we don't want to go back. So anyway, so I started my business in 2018, so August of 2018. And I started, so I'm going to kind of like ask some questions while I'm talking. So go and please feel free to write in the chat while I'm talking, because I like for you guys to engage too. So I started for the business. So put in the chat if you started for the business or if you started for the products. I'm always so curious to hear that. So I knew there'd be more product people. I love it. Okay, so I started for the business. And so background is I am a mom of 3 boys. So that's why another reason why Andrea and I have totally bonded, because we're like boy mom unite. And I was a stay-at-home mom. This was back in, I'm taking you back to May 2018. I was a stay-at-home mom, 3 boys. And I was just really what I thought at the time, I was like living the dream, right? My husband had a great job. He was working and we were just really kind of just enjoying life. I was tired all the time, didn't know I needed gut health, like literally didn't even understand the terminology, gut health. Like I promise you, it's so crazy when I think about it now. I'm like, how did I not know about gut health? But I didn't know about gut health. But I was following my friend, Marianne. I don't know if you guys follow Marianne Anderson. She's my sponsor. She is at This Loud House. That's her Instagram handle. And I was following her and her sponsor, Trisha, at Clean House with Kids. So that's kind of my upline. I know sometimes people like to know that lineage, but so Trisha and Marianne, I was following both of them. And I had always seen them sharing this pink drink. And I was just like, I mean, you know, kind of intrigued, but not enough to ever message them. Like I was never in a situation where I was going to be like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and message them and ask them about this product. I just would kind of watch them on their stories and they'd always have this pink drink and they always looked happy. And I was like, whatever, you know, never really thought much of it. And so in May of 2018, my husband had lost his job. So remember, I was a stay-at-home mom and he was our sole income and he lost his job like that in an instance. Has anyone else ever been through a situation like that where like all of a sudden in one day your life goes like upside down? And that's what happened to us. And the good news is, I always tell people there's like good and bad news. The good news is we had paid off pretty much most of our debt that previous year. But the bad news is we had 3 months in our savings, 3 months in our savings. So a little PSA, check your savings account tonight and make sure you have more than 3 months worth of savings because you never know when it's going to hit the fan, right? And so here I am, and I had 3 months. And I remember looking at my kids. I remember like looking at our house, the cars, the pantry, and I'm like, this is it. Like we're done in 3 months. Like we do not have a chance after 3 months. And the bad news is I overestimated thinking I would make it 3 months. We did not make it 3 months, you guys. We made it to the point of, hear me out on this, I still have my food stamp card. We made it to the point of food stamps and to the point of Medicaid. And so here we are thinking like living this life of like, okay, you know, he had a great 6-figure income, everything was great. And all of a sudden, boom, it's gone. It's gone in less than 90 days. Okay. And so in that time, I just given you that backstory of watching Marianne and Trisha. On July 12th, you will remember dates. I'm telling you. Does anybody else remember dates? Like I remember what I was wearing, where I was standing. July 12th, 2018, Marianne shared on her Instagram that day. This is going to be an important part of what we're going to talk about in a little bit. So I want you to really pay attention to this. Remember I told you all she was sharing was that pink drink, right? She kept sharing that pink drink. She kept sharing that pink drink. And it never got me to message her. Well, July 12th, 2018, somehow she said that pink drink, which I usually have next to me when I do these talks, that pink drink was making her a 6-figure income. And I was like, what? And you know, when you can go back on your stories, I'm like, back. And I was like, no way. Did she just say 6-figure income from that drink? Like, seriously, from that drink she takes to carpool, she's doing her laundry with. She always looks happy. She's got 5 kids. She's homeschooling. Like, she's either a major fraud or she's telling the truth. Like, there was only 2 ways to go with it. There was only 2 ways. So I messaged her that same day. And I was like, okay, I don't really know what this pink drink is. And honestly, I don't really care, but can I make what you make? And she replies, yeah, girl, you can totally make what I make. And I'm like, she's like, you can make $1,000. Now, mind you guys, this was 2018. So let's talk about how spoiled we are right now with the bonus structure and the referral bonuses, because they're almost like double what they were in 2018. And she said, you can make $1,000 this month. And I said, how do I do that? She said, if you listen to everything that I tell you to do and you do it, you can make $1,000 this month. And I'm like, $1,000. I mean, that would help us out so much. So I'm like, okay, great. Sign me up. And she did. You guys, I didn't care what I ordered. I literally said, I don't care what. She did the sign up for me. I was like, I don't care what you order me. She was like, what flavor? I'm like, I don't care about a flavor. I was not starting for the products. I was starting for the business. Okay. And so that was July 12th. Now, I didn't start my business until August 1st. Okay. So on August 1st, I started my business, and I just went on Instagram. She told me what to do. I was posting about the pink drink. She's like, go find some friends, go find like 3 people. Let's get you to the first rank. So I did. I signed up my 3 people the very first night. I signed them up in the same hour. It was like between the hours of 8 and 9. I did one on my phone, one on my iPad, and one on my computer at the same time. Okay. And I say that because we're going to talk about silvers in a little bit. Do not ever overthink silver. If you overthink silver and you are telling your team, go think of all your high school friends, and go think of like your elementary school teacher and like the kids that you went to preschool with, like, don't make it difficult. Your first 3 people are your ride or die people. Okay. They are the people that you are going on a walk with, you're joining a gym with, you're going to your favorite restaurant, you're going to a movie, right? These are the people that are the first 3 people. And it should be done so quickly that it's like, it's here and gone in like a second. You know, are they going to do it in 1 hour? Maybe not, but don't ever overcomplicate silver. Everyone knows 3 people. Right. So that was so simple for me. I was like, okay, boom, got my 3 people. Now what? And she was like, keep going. And I'm like, okay. So I kept going. This was now, August 2018, kept going. I always tell the story. I'm like, she promised me I'd make $1,000 my first month. And I did not make $1,000 my first month, but I made $1,642 my very first month with Plexus. And that was it. Like that's very cliche saying, the rest is history. Like, the rest is history. I just kept going and going and going. And the next month I went, so the first month I went gold, next month senior gold, then next month ruby, and then 2 months after that senior ruby. Like, I just kept going and going and going. And the people that I grabbed at first, I found 2 of my diamonds they're diamonds right now. I found my first month. They joined me in August of 2018 because I was like, we're going to do this together and we're going to run together. And this is going to be so amazing. And we did it together. So that's another thing you want to tell people is grab your people as fast as you can and just build this with them. Like, this is the best lemonade stand I have ever seen in my entire life. Like, imagine just grabbing your best friends, people that you love, people that you know, and just being like, we're going to do this. Now, the 2 people I grabbed, they were not my best friends. They were not at the time my best friends. We were acquaintances through Instagram, but that was it. They were not my best friends. We have become super close, but they were not my best friends. So you don't have to actually go and grab your best friends, but go and grab someone who needs this business. Okay. So I'm going to fast forward real quick on my journey here. So my journey to diamond took a year and a half, exactly 18 months. I hit diamond. I am a COVID diamond. So I hit diamond in April of 2020. I hit emerald in October of 2019, I hit Sapphire in January of 2020, and then Diamond in April of 2020. So they were each exactly 90 days apart. And the way that I did that, there's people that have done it faster. It's, you know, it's not the most incredible timeline, but it's an interesting timeline, because the way that I did that is I put my head down and I just helped every single person on my team. Sometimes you've got to take your eyes off of you to the point that you are helping your team. And the more that you can be there and be present for your team and help your team, when you look up, you look at those points and you're just like, wow, like the points just come. I always say to people who are struggling with their points, like they just can't hit their ranks, or they're the dreaded word stuck. I don't even allow my team to use that word, because I'm like, no one is ever stuck. Like we all have a chance for movement. So if we're stuck, we're choosing to be stuck, or we're using the word stuck as an excuse. And it makes us kind of feel like it's not us, like something's going on, so I'm stuck, right? But you cannot allow yourself to use that word. Sometimes my friends on my team or my teammates will be like, I think I'm the S word. And I'm like, no, you're not the S word. Like you are not the S word. You are not stuck. You have to create your own movement and create your own momentum. And once you start doing that, once you put your head down and you start working with people on your team and you just start truly helping them, background, I am an Enneagram 2, but I've chosen to not let that define me, you know, because people will be like, well, you're a 2, so it's so easy because you just want to help people. And I'm like, you know, no, I'm also a really strong wing 1, you know, so you can use your Enneagram to kind of help understand yourself in situations, but don't ever use it as an excuse. And don't ever say, well, it's easy for her because she's a 7, you know, or she's so smart, she's a 5. Like, don't be thinking like that. Don't let yourself get thrown by the Enneagrams. That's another thing I see people fall into. But I want to kind of transfer this directly into the topic of mindset, because I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. And Andrew's going to be like, I did not sign up for her to say this. I am not a huge podcast person. I'm not a huge podcast person. I do not hardly ever read books, right? I don't pretend to be somebody that I am not. But what I think somehow I was gifted with somewhere along the line in my life was a really good mindset. And I think it's because I always would choose the better mindset. Does that mean I don't get down? Does that mean I don't doubt myself? Does that mean I don't struggle or have hurdles? No. But I think what happens is I just always said to myself that July 12th, 2018, remember I told you where I was standing, what I was wearing. Well, I didn't tell you that, but I remember that. I said to my son, who's sitting in the room right here, they're watching a hockey game because soccer comes on soon. They're sitting here right next to me. Yes, I do my life in my kitchen. Like I'm in my kitchen and I have 1, 2, 3 family members. Like if I throw something, I will hit them. So if I can get to Diamond and I can do a Zoom in my kitchen, like you can do this too. So I digress, but I said to my son, who was 12 at the time, I said to him, I'm going to do this. Like right after Miriam was like, here, fine. I don't care. Like, just sign me up with whatever. I looked at him. I'm like, I'm going to do this. Like, I am going to do this. And he was like, okay, mom, like you're going to do this. Okay, great. You know? And so I just knew from that day on, July 12th, 2018, I knew that I was going to do this. Now, did I know I was going to be a diamond? No, I didn't. My goal was not to be a diamond, right? My goal was survival. That was my goal. And so I remember when I looked at the income chart, I was like, I need to be a senior Ruby, because I knew what our bills were. And I was like, that's what I need to survive. I need to be a senior Ruby. And then once I started going fast and I was hitting gold and I was hitting senior gold and I was hitting Ruby, I was like, okay, yeah, no, senior Ruby, no, I am going to the top. Like I'm going to do this and I'm going to go to the top. I have never once, ever, you can ask Marianne and you can ask Trisha. I talk to them all day, every day. I have never once said to my sponsors, I don't think I can do this. Never. I don't let those words come out of my mouth, because once they come out of your mouth, that is it. You're done. That's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You're like, this is happening. And so this is what's going to happen, right? So if you are going to have the thoughts, we're going to have thoughts no matter what, right? Let's choose to have the positive thoughts. Let's not choose to have the negative thoughts. It's a choice. It is a choice to make when we say, I cannot do this, or I'm not going to hit that rank this month. No, it's too much. I'm going to wait till next month. And you know what? When somebody says that to me, I'm like, okay, well, you know what? That's a good idea, because you already think you can't do it. So if you already think you can't do it, it is not happening. I can promise you, once somebody says that they can't do something, I'm like, okay, then you cannot do it, you know? And 9 times out of 10, they're like, wait, what? Like, you're not going to try to come? Like, no, I'm not going to try to convince you out of it. Why would I sit here and try to convince you out of it? You just said you can't do it. So how am I going to tell you you can do it? You know, I'm going to tell you I believe in you, and I'm going to give you tools and tips and resources, and I'm going to be your biggest cheerleader, and I'm going to be with you every step of the way, but I cannot make you think you can do it. You have to. Okay. So make that choice. Bob Heilig calls it the red light story and the green light story. I love that analogy, because we are going to make up a story no matter what. So like, let's just make up a green light story, because you never, ever, ever know. So mindset, like I said, has not been something that I've ever truly struggled with, but I've always just chosen the better mindset. You can choose it. Okay. You can watch all the podcasts, listen to all the podcasts, watch all the training videos, read every single book out there, and still have a horrible mindset, right? Because no one's going to change your mindset but you. So you get to choose that. So that's like the beautiful thing about this business, is the people that succeed and keep going, their mind is staying clear. They're having some hard thoughts, yeah, but they're always choosing to rise above it. Okay. Another thing that I tell people while we are talking about mindset. So this is for people who are seriously into the business. Like, are you committed? I want you guys to give me on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, in the chat, how committed are you to your business? And don't just put what Andrea wants to see. Like, okay, good. See, I love honesty. Put like how committed you are to your business. Okay. These are good. I love, you guys are so honest. I love, 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 love it. You're my people. You're my people. Okay. Now I want you to write, are you happy with that level of commitment? Yes or no? Wow. All right. Well, you know what, guys? This is good news. This is good news, because this is easily fixable. This is so easily fixable. I promise you. Yes, there's always room for improvement. There's never not room for improvement. Okay. So words I want you guys to take out of your vocabulary are stuck. It's got to go. Don't use that word anymore. It is a bad word. To me, it's like worse than the F word. Sorry, I said it. Do not say the word stuck. Okay. Another words that you need to not ever say. This is going to help you. This is going to help you to be a 9 or a 10. Okay. Never say no one or everyone, in the sense of no one is replying to me. No one is. Everyone is ghosting me. Okay. When you use a term like that, those words are bad words, because there is no way in hell that there is a group of people in a room, all your prospects that don't know each other, are like, this is so fun. Let's not reply to Andrea. Like, let's never, ever, ever. You guys, is she messaging you? Yeah, she's messaging me too. Oh my God, leave her on red. Leave her on red. Don't reply. Don't reply. Hey, you know what? Let's give her a thumbs up. Let's heart it, right? Let's make her so mad. There is never an instance where that is happening. Ever, ever, ever. I promise you, in 3.5 years of doing this, I've never seen that be true, right? So once we say like, no one wants this, everyone thinks it's too expensive. No one is replying to me. Oh, another word I hate. Ghosting. Ghosting. Come on. Seriously, no one is like intentionally ghosting you unless it's somebody that you knew in high school and they really don't like you and they like have a vendetta against you. Okay. No one is ghosting you. We think they are, because what does it do? It gives us an out. It gives us an out to be like, I've tried it all. It's not my month. Tried it all. I've done everything I possibly can, but she's ghosting me. They're all in a room and they're all just not responding to me. Like, you are never going to have that scenario. Okay. It always, this is not mine. Okay. This is Fallon. Everyone in here probably knows Fallon and loves Fallon, right? This is Fallon, and one of her very many incredible trainings that she did. She always said, the minute you start pointing at other people and putting the blame on anything outside of you is the minute when you need to take your finger and turn it back on yourself, because it's always you. It's always you. It's always us. We can get ourselves out of anything. We can get ourselves out of a point range, right? If you are always at 150 points, why are you always at 150 points, right? Why? Have you exceeded your fast start bonus? Are you just like, I don't really need to be 250? What does your why look like? Like, check it all. You have all of the power in your hands to get out of that situation and look back at yourself and go, maybe it's something I'm doing. Okay. What was the key to what Marianne did? Does anybody have the answer to that? What was the key to what Marianne did to get me to sign up? What did she do in her stories that day? Does anybody know? What did she do? She was sharing the opportunity. Okay. So give me a 1 in the chat if you find yourself saying, I need runners. I need business builders. Yeah, I knew the ones would be flying, right? If you need runners or you need business builders, that's on you, right? You have to take that finger and turn it back on you and say, why am I not attracting runners or business builders? And the reason being is because you're not sharing the opportunity enough. And maybe you're like, no, Jen, I am. I post every day to my stories, business slides. They're beautiful. Andrea makes the prettiest content. I have these gorgeous slides and I post them to my stories and I put a poll and I put 2 positive responses and no one joins me for the business. Well, I'm here to tell you they're not going to join just based off of pretty story slides. Now, sister here loves pretty story slides. I put them up in my feed all the time. I mean, in my stories all the time. It's a big part of our business. I love it. It's attraction marketing. It's super important, right? But it's not going to get you business builders. It's just not. You have to get on your stories and show your face, and you have to talk to your followers. And I don't care if you have 10 followers or 10,000 followers. You have to talk to your followers and you have to say, this is such an awesome opportunity. This is incredible. In this month alone, I've seen so-and-so succeed and so-and-so succeed. And here I am sitting at home with my kids and I earned $1,000 this month. I earned $1,000 this month just by sharing this opportunity. Okay. And so that right there alone is how you're going to get business builders. You have to speak it in order for it to happen. You have to. What you put out there is what you attract. Okay. Think of being Marianne that day. Okay. Think of being Marianne that day. Think of being the person that got on their stories that very day and shared the business. I never messaged her, you guys. I was following her for 6 months. I never messaged her because I was not that interested. I was not that interested. Okay. I'm building under, I said I was a diamond. I never talk about my other leg. I am almost emerald on my husband's leg. I never re-entered. I hit re-entry diamond the month after I hit diamond, but I just chose to not re-enter. But this past year, I was like, all right, I'm going to build under my husband. So I started my husband's account and I was like, okay, well, if I'm starting another account, I have to find business builders, right? So I'm going to do what I do best. And I'm going to watch people's stories. I'm going to listen to what people have to say. And I'm going to just boldly reach out to them. And so my very first business builder under my husband's account went fast, what triple ranked her first month, went Ruby her third month. Yeah, senior gold her second month, Ruby her third month, senior Ruby her fourth month. And she's going for Emerald next month. She's finishing this month like well over 1,000 points. Okay. And how did that happen? Because I built belief in her. You guys, she was posting an energy drink. I can never remember the name of the energy drink. It's one of those fizzy energy drinks like Alani or something. I don't know what it's called. She was posting that on her stories, and she'd be at the gym and she was like, I'm here with my energy drink, blah, 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 blah. And she was so cute. And I'm like, she was a dream teamer. So cute. She's like a little micro influencer. She had like 1,000 followers. And I'm like, excuse me, how much are they paying you for that collaboration? She was like, it's not a collaboration. I'm like, why are you sharing it then every day on your stories? They're not paying you for it. I'm like, you can share this energy drink. And I told her about Active. I'm like, and you could be making thousands of dollars a month. And she was like, what? I'm like, yeah. And she was like, not interested. She blew me off like 4 times. And every time she posted her energy drink, I would react to her stories. And I was just persistent. I was persistent. I'm like, remember this energy drink you can post? And I just kept sending things. And then I sent her my story. I sent her my, I do a business opportunity Zoom. I sent that to her. I'm like, please watch this. Please watch this. I'm like, watch this and tell me what you think. And she watched it and she was like, oh, okay, I'm kind of intrigued. I'm like, kind of enough to join? She's like, yeah. And so she joined, started her business, and she's going to be an Emerald within like, I don't know, 8 months. All right. And because I vision casted with her, right? I had to do the work. I had a vision cast with her. Now she's got somebody who's going Fast Start Ruby tomorrow, because I vision casted with them. I spent the time. I get to know my team. I work with my team. I show up every single day. These are things that are non-negotiables, right? Do you have a team and you feel like your team's not moving? Connect with them. You have to connect with them every single day. You got to get to know their family, know their kids' names, know what they like. You know, oh my God, you like pizza? I love pizza too. It's my favorite thing. Oh my God. Oh, now you just made me want pizza. I'm going to order pizza tonight, right? Like do the fun things, send the gifts, have fun, connect with them, build their belief. And even if you aren't where you want to be, I don't care if you are a silver, a senior silver, a gold, a senior gold. I built belief starting at silver. That's when I got my very first, who is one of my diamonds now, Jenny Caspers. I got her because I was like, listen, I haven't even gotten paid yet by Plexus. It was August 17th when I got her. I started August 1st, remember? So 17 days later, I'm like, listen, I'm not making jack, but Marianne and Trisha are making $10,000 and $15,000 a year. I mean, a month, which they're making way more than that now. But I'm like, they're making $10,000 and $15,000 a month. Why the heck are we not? Well, why are we not making that much? Like, let's do that. Let's do that together. So I don't know the ranks. Can you guys write your ranks in the chat? If you are not where you want to be or where you think you can vision cast, that's okay. Was it Brianna? Use Brianna, use Andrea, okay? Use Emily. Allie's working back to Emerald. Use Allie. And I'm not saying you have to be that level. I'm not saying you have to be, a jewel to be able to vision cast, or use a jewel to vision cast, because use a Ruby, use a senior Ruby and be like, she's making $3,000 a month, or she's making, congratulations, you hit gold. She's making Ruby. She's making, I just got so excited for Ashley who hit gold today. She's making $5,000 a month. Like, what would you do with $5,000 a month, right? You're vision casting. You don't have to be making that money and driving a Lexus on the beach in Hawaii to vision cast, right? You don't have to. I promise you, you don't have to. You just have to believe that you can get there, and then they will believe they can get there. But going back to mindset, if you don't believe you can get there, I can guarantee you your team will not believe they can get there. I guarantee it. You don't have to be there to have belief. Okay? Mindset, your positive mindset is literally the GPS to your success. If you don't have a positive mindset, you are never going to get to where you're going. Ever, ever, ever. I can promise you that. Promise you that. And remember, this is coming from a non-podcast junkie. Okay. So I'm not on here to be like, go buy these 17 books and read them all tonight. And then tomorrow I want you to listen to 7 podcasts. No, I want you to connect with your people. I want you to show up tomorrow. I want you to build belief in your team tomorrow. I want you to connect with your team, even in your big team chats, connect with them. You know, send a gift, laugh, be funny, like have a little mental break. It's okay. We're all so crazy and chaotic. And we just work really, really, really hard at this business. You guys, I show up every single day. And I don't say that to brag. I would show this to my team and they would back me up. They would back me up. I show up every single day. I have not missed midnight on the last day of the month, ever. Ever. I've never missed midnight on the last day of the month. And I would never miss midnight in the last day of the month. I'm about to hit my highest points. I'm about to hit 10,000 points this month, which like I could cry. It's always been my goal. I've been like 9,000, 8,000. I've never hit 10,000. Right before I hopped on this call, I was at 9876. And I am going to hit 10,000 points this month. That was not my goal when I started, you guys. That's not my goal. My goal was not to join this business and make $30,000 a month. But that's my reality. And that can be your reality too. It doesn't have to be your goal. It doesn't have to be your why. You don't have to want to get to 10,000 points. You don't have to want to be a diamond. I say to people, no one needs to make that much money. No one needs to actually make that much money. It doesn't buy happiness. That's for dang sure, you know? But what it does give you is it gives you options. And the reason why I am here is because I have kept my head down for 3.5 years, helping my team and digging into my team. And when I look up, you guys, and I look at those numbers every single day, I'm just like, whoa, right? Like, how is this even possible? How is it possible? And it's possible because we have the ability to make it possible. We are given that ability with this. Little fun fact, I didn't tell this part. I, in my former life, was a pharmaceutical rep for 13 years. P.S. Sales does not help you in this business. I've had so many people say, well, it's because you were a pharmaceutical rep, so you're really good at sales. I'm like, no, actually not. Sales, we're not in the business of sales. We just are not. This is not sales. I hate sales. That was a very good paying job, but I look now and I'm like, I had to travel. I was gone so much. I missed so much. You know, there was days I had to drive, you know, from Charleston to Augusta, and then I had to drive all the way back in that same day. You know, I was driving like 7-8 hours a day and working in between that. Like, that's for the birds, you know? And I'm not bashing corporate America. I'm not bashing anybody who has a job on here. Some people love their jobs, and that's amazing because you can do this on the side. I have a diamond that has a full-time job. You know, she actually did a welcome to Plexus call tonight. I don't know if anybody saw it. So you do not have to quit your job to do this. You don't have to want to quit your job. Your why is your why, and you get to choose it. And it doesn't have to be your sponsors. Why, you know? So, gosh, Andrea, I talk so much. I didn't even get to the whole silvers thing. I wanted to talk really quick about how do you get people, because Andrea wanted me to touch on this because this is a really good topic. And I feel like, Allison, my kids would really disagree with you because they could not listen to me all night. They have to sit there and hear, they could do my business opportunity Zoom. Like they literally could probably one day, if I'm sick, get on here and do my business opportunity Zoom because I have a slide deck, so they could totally do it. Yeah, they're like little assistants. But anyway, I want to talk real quick, and then I want to give you guys the opportunity to ask me any questions that you want. Obviously, I'm an open book. I think that goes without saying by this point. How do you get people to silver? That was what I kind of addressed at the beginning. And what do you do from that point? Okay, so silver should not be something to think about. We used to be like, make a list of 10 people, I'm like, no. Okay, right now, who can you get right now? Like Who right now can you think of off the top of your head that needs energy or weight loss, or maybe they suffer with an autoimmune issue, or they have diabetes or a thyroid issue? Who can you think, who's like your ride or die people? Like, you're going to go to the gym tomorrow, who you grabbing? You're going to a movie, who you grabbing, right? And so boom, they get their first 3 people. I know I make that sound super easy, but the less you think about it, the less they're going to think about it. And the quicker they are going to get their first 3 people. Okay, so that should be super quick process. Like, if somebody's going to grab 3 people, they should grab them in their first like 1 to 3 days. And just like let them know, hey, I'm here. This is optional, but sometimes, you know, I will have people, or I definitely do it for my people. I'll offer them a rebate for their first 3 people. Like, hey, I'm going to give $10 off for your first 3 people, you know, ends on Friday. So just create that urgency. Yeah. And then have them, once they get that money, you guys, once they get that money, you might be turning a non-business builder into a business builder, because they start to see like, that was so easy. So I'm like, yeah, you know, surely Starbucks isn't paying you $307 for sharing that sugary drink, you know, with the whole world. Like, no, that's free marketing. Don't ever think that little of yourself, that you should be marketing freely for other people, right? Don't ever think that. So that's the one thing I say to people. Like, listen, when you join, you got to create a referral link. And so you get to use that referral link. And when 3 people use that link, you're going to get $307. Boom. They're like mini influencers in 5 seconds, right? Because we all have influence. We all do. And everyone sees influencers sharing things all the time. Like, here's my link, here's this, here's that, right? And so it's a normal thing nowadays. It wasn't 3 years ago, I'll tell you that much, but now it's like a normal thing. So don't be afraid to talk about the opportunity with everyone. Oh my gosh, yeah, you just joined, yay. Did you see your referral link that you just created? I want to let you know what happens when you use that referral link, right? 3 of your friends join you, like literally I'm talking to your mom, your sister, and your best friend. They join you, you got $307. It's so awesome, right? Dude, I'm not saying business. I'm not talking silver. I'm not talking fast start. No, I'm just like, boom, you're going to use that because you're going to share it anyway. We're professional sharers. We overshare and we're professional sharers. Women are oversharers. It's what we do. It's just what we do. We share things we love. We also share things we hate. So that's what I do. And then we, at that point, when somebody hits silver, we have a chat. We call it the road to 100. I did a training on this for corporate. I don't know if anybody heard it, but that's the chat that everybody goes into once they hit silver until 100 points. I like to separate my chats because I feel like people can get overwhelmed and they're like brand new and they're looking at this person going fast start Ruby and they're like, what is happening? So they go into that chat and we all just we go a little slowly in there as far as like explaining things, but 95% of our work is done in our 3-way chats. 95%. So that's like the person who joined, the sponsor, and the sponsor. Sometimes I get there's situations where there's a non-working sponsor, so it'll just be 2-way chat, totally fine. But that's where the juice is gonna happen. That's where the meat of your business is gonna be grown, is in a chat personally, or 3-way chat with your sponsor. And then the big chats are for belief building, they're for vision casting, they're for celebrating, they're for important information, like, oh, we have a Zoom tonight, you know, this, that, cheering each other on, you know. We change our nicknames in ours. That's what we do every day. Like, they have to put their goals in their nicknames, you know, like we just stay super uber focused in there. And but we do all of our business in our 2-way or 3-way chats. And that's how we get them to go beyond. We even vision cast in the Road to 100 chat about the 100 plus chat. Like, we're like, oh my gosh. And then when you're done, when you get out of this chat, you get to get into this chat, and we like welcome them. We do welcome gifts and they're in the 100 plus chat. And it's so exciting. And then we have a Ruby chat, and then we have a Jewel chat. We have a Diamond chat. And so like, you just progressively, you go into the chats as you hit the ranks. And believe it or not, like, how many people in here would like, you want to be in a Ruby chat? You're like, I want to be in a Ruby chat. Like, my fast start senior Ruby, the one that I told you that started on my husband's team, she was just like, I'm gonna die that day I get into that Jewel chat. She's like, literally, I'm not gonna sleep the night before. Like, I swear, I'm like, is this your why? Like, is that your biggest why? She jokes all the time. She's like, that's pretty much, yeah, like, that's like one of my biggest whys, is I want to be in that Jewel chat. So funny. Yeah, like, she wants to be in Joe. She wants to, like, they just, that's huge. That was really pretty much one of my whys too, was I wanted to know products before they came out. Like I was like, I need to know all the things before it comes out. And so, just make sure you find out what makes people tick. So for her, I know it's like that kind of thing that makes her tick. So we talk about that a lot. I still vision cast with her, even though she's over 1,000 points this month. I'm still vision casting with her. That doesn't end. There's no need for that to end. Marianne still vision casts with me. She's a double diamond. She makes $60,000 a month. And she literally, I'm like, oh my gosh, God, it's crazy. She's like, that's going to be you, and so she's vision casting with me. She's not doing it because she needs to, or she thinks I'm going to quit. She's doing it because that's what we do. That's the beauty of this business, is we get to be inspired by others. And that gives us something to look forward to, and to work for. So that is all I got. Andrea, that was a lot. I know. She's like, I'm running out of Zoom time.
No, they're all like this. Tell me more. Tell me more. That is literally. Did you guys not just love her? I told you you would love her. I told you she's an open book. And do you guys have any questions for her? Come on.
Oh, so glad.
Well, you guys know I do.
Yeah.
I'm like waiting for Brianna to unmute.
Oh, I love it. I can't see you for some reason. I'm going to scroll till I can see you.
I was going to say, I might be on the other side. I had to turn off my camera a minute ago.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Okay. So I know you guys do like a lot of do you do the morning rounds and stuff with your team? Mm-hmm. Okay. So we were doing we do morning meetings and we get on and work together, and it started out as 10 people, and now we'll have 2 or 3, and it just seems like things fizzle out and they lose that fire. Mm-hmm. What are some tips that you maybe use to keep the team excited to do those things every day?
That's such a good question, because we had that too for a while. We were doing power 30s, and we were doing basically every morning, and we went down to 3 mornings a week, and then we actually took them away. I'm going to be honest, they haven't come back yet because we were just kind of losing interest. And so instead of getting frustrated about it, I was like, this just isn't something that they might necessarily seasons of the business. Yeah. It's stuff that maybe it's not a needed thing right now. And I keep saying, I'll know when it's time to bring that back. They only stopped in November. Then we had the holidays and all the crazy, now we're in crazy season. And I'm like, they'll come back. I just don't know when they're going to come back. But I used to get really frustrated as a leader. I used to get super frustrated with stuff like that. Why are they not this? Or why are they not getting on this? Or is this not important to them? And but then I've come to see okay, I'm being told something right now, this is just not for them right now. And it doesn't mean that somebody's not into their business or they're not interested, but maybe it's not them for them right now. And let's try something different, And so we kind of, with our morning rounds, we kind of do them they're actual rounds. None of us are doctors or nurses. We actually do have a couple of nurses, but we kind of do it like that. Every morning we all starts early on my team. It starts 6:30. And everybody's already going into chats. Good morning. And people are sending their morning rounds. We do the copy paste morning rounds and they send them. That's how we structure our days. And that's how we know, if somebody's doing their morning rounds, they're into their business. That's what it shows me, that's a pulse on your business. And if you don't have a pulse on your business and you're not opening your back office and you don't know what your points are or what your goal is, or you don't have a map to get to where you need to go, then you're, just might not be your time for this right now. We got to figure that out. So is it done before they go to work? Yeah, I will say most of my people will get up early and get it done. And if they're not getting it done, then they're getting it done on their first break or at their lunch break. I don't have one person that sends their morning rounds at night. And I'm not saying that to sound not flexible. I'm saying that to sound, we all can make time. Like I said, I have 1 diamond and 3 jewels that have full-time jobs. So, I mean, if they can do it, anyone can do it, and don't give yourself the excuse of I'm busy. I mean, I'm busy. I have a job. Yeah, you are probably more busy than, somebody who's at home, but people who are at home are busy too. It's like that whole back and forth, that people have in general, but you can make time for it and you can do it. You can absolutely do it. And if you want to quit your job, then you definitely want to do it, because then you won't have to be squeezing it in, Yeah, that works, Lisa. We have a lot of people do that same thing, like 5:30. When I wake up in the morning, I already have at least 4 or 5 morning rounds sitting there waiting. So that's a great question. Don't ever get frustrated. Same thing with chats. Chats can be super frustrating. I used to get so upset when I'm like, where is it? Why is nobody responding? Why am I the only one talking? So with that, I just have my leaders become active. Like if the leaders are active and showing up in the chats, everyone else will show up too. Type 3 red. Brianna, I'm a red too.
I'm like, you are just preaching it.
I'm a red. I started this business as a yellow. I swear I started as a yellow. And then every month that went on, I got red and redder and redder and redder. And I'm like, oh, I'm definitely a red. But yellows do great in this business. I have a very yellow diamond and a very yellow jewel. And I love it. We definitely complement each other. Because I'm like, no. They're like, oh, it's fine. Everything's great. The sun's out.
You're like, it's no big deal.
I know. And we can all be preachy. Preachy is not a bad thing. I think it's just passion. Sometimes it's just passion, it's just the way it comes out.
I think especially when you see it in people and they don't see it in themselves, you're like, come on. But again, like you said, you can't make them want to do it, right?
No, that's the beauty of this business, is nobody can make anybody do anything.
Yeah.
That's why we're all in this business, right? Yeah. Because we don't have anybody that we have to answer to, or, yes, we want to report to our sponsors. Like, I can't imagine a day that would go by that I didn't want to talk to my sponsors. Like, I don't think there's ever a day. Like, there'll be like a random Sunday we won't talk all day. Then like at night we'll be like, oh my gosh, we didn't talk all day, but fall in love with this opportunity. Fall in love with your team. Even if it's somebody that's very different from you, you learn a lot, It's like your family. You can't pick your family. Well, you can't really always pick your team either. So we all gotta, we're all going in the same direction, we're all going to get in the same boat and go in the same direction. And that's the beauty of this. I've never loved a job. I always do the air quotes. I'm like, job. I've never loved a job more than this.
Yeah. It's such a blessing. Like, it really is. If you really step back and think what we get to do each day and the amount of money that we can make by doing these things, it's insane. It's not like getting up and having to go underneath someone else's thumb to make $30,000 or go through med school,
right,
to make $30,000 a month or $10,000 a month or $5,000 a month. Like, it's insane for, I say for the little bit of work we put in, which we do put in a ton of work, but honestly, for the paycheck, it's sometimes like, holy cow, like and it's fun. It's like, it's fun if you make it. And I love that you said, like, it's mindset, choosing to not always be like the victim, I feel like, in your own business.
Right.
Really quick, and we'll let you, I know I'm going to let you go, but really quick, Amanda wanted to know, and I know this is going to look different because obviously from someone who is silver or gold and then versus diamonds, like workload and things like that. But in general, because I know we all do IPA and things like that, what does your day look like maybe when you sit down and you do IPA? Like, what does that look like for you?
So my day begins typically, like I said, with the morning round. So that's like talking to it's kind of like, I think of it as like circle time at school, where like you kind of get everybody in the class, kind of gather them. Everybody kind of has a, hey, today's going to be great. And we do that in our big chat, like our big messenger chat. And then we do that one-on-one or in our 3-way chats. And then I kind of feel like as a leader, you've got to make sure that your team is like in a good space. every day. Like you kind of have to just check in and be like, hey, good morning. Even if they're busy, even if they're going to work, like just check in and say good morning. Like, good morning, have a good day. What's your plan for today? What's it looking like? You know, hey, I'll be back around my lunch hour. Okay, great. So then you kind of know when you're going to talk to them. And then once I kind of feel like I have everybody settled is when I dive into my own business. That's when so probably by like, I don't know, 8 or 9 a.m. is when I can do my own projections. Do you guys track your numbers every single day? Everybody does that in here? Okay. So I do it in my notes. My team does it. Some people have Excel, you know, on their phones or whatever. I just do it in my notes. I make a little graph and I track my numbers every single day. And then a lot of times, like randomly, I'll just go to our chat and be like, everybody send their 90-day, like what does their 90 days look like? And so they'll write, you know, their points and how much they went up or down in 90 days. Because we have to work our business in 90-day increments. Like we just have to. You cannot just work month to month. You will not succeed. You have to know that there's seasons and you have to know what's happening. Like, what is it looking like? Are you going up? Are you going, okay, good. A 90-day push to diamond. I love it. That's super important to do that because you want to make sure everybody is going in the right direction. And if not, we can fix that. So once I have everybody settled, when I go and do my own thing, I am a diamond and I still send my diamond upline my morning rounds every single day. Cause why not? Like, why am I any different from anybody else? You know, like I mean, there is no reason for that. So they know my business. They know every single thing. They know I'm on this Zoom right now because, you know, you want to make sure that they know what I'm doing. They know my prospects. They know if I signed a new business builder. You know, these are things that I talk to my upline about because, you know, I always say the difference between a diamond and a gold is just the pay. That's the difference, you know? So the beauty of that is if you are a gold, everything you're doing now, you're going to be doing as a diamond. You're just going to be making more money, you know? And that's the beautiful part about it. Because in corporate America, it doesn't work like that. You know, like if you go from, you know, from entry level to CEO, the responsibility is a lot more. Do I have more responsibility as a diamond than I did as a gold? I do, but it's all within my control, you know? So it's not like this overwhelming, oh my gosh, I got to report to this person and that person. I have this deadline. No, like we're doing all the same things. We've just got a bigger team and a different back office. So that should be super inspirational to you guys because and I also say the only way you won't get to diamond, and guys, diamond does not have to be your end all goal. There's probably a lot of you in here that are like, I don't want to be a diamond, you know, like I really just want to be an emerald, or I really just want to be a senior ruby. But the only way you don't get to that goal, the only way is if you quit. So you control if you get there or not. No one else does. I just said no one. Remember, that's a bad word. No one else controls that but you. I promise you.